Hello everyone. Welcome to One More Thing. I'm Matt. Today, we will take you to explore an extremely important period in Japanese history, Japan's Warring States Period. This era was filled with heroic deeds, political struggles, and war conflicts, but have you ever heard of the common belief that Japan's Warring States Period was just a fight between village elders? Today, we will delve into this issue and reveal the true face of Japan's Warring States Period. In the following videos, we will reveal the truth about Japan's Warring States Period. We will explore the political structure of the Sengoku period, the role of the samurai, and the authenticity of local conflicts. Through this journey, we will understand the complexity and diversity of Japan's Warring States Period, and answer the questions that viewers are concerned about. Was Japan's Warring States Period a village war? Are you ready? Let's embark on this journey of exploration about Japan's Warring States Period. 1. Overview of Japan's Warring States Period. Japan's Warring States Period, also known as the Sengoku Jidai, took place between the 15th and 16th centuries and was an extremely turbulent and important period in Japanese history. The starting point of this era can be traced back to the Ryonin War in 1467, which marked the beginning of the Warring States Period in Japan. The background of the Warring States Period was the political division of Japan and the competition between various forces. During this period, Japan's central power had been relatively weakened, leading the country to fall into chaos. The originally unified political power was divided into multiple forces, such as the shogunate headed by the Ashikaga shogun family, major feudal lords, and religious forces, competing for power and territory. Competition between these forces resulted in numerous wars and conflicts. Lords from various places launched wars one after another in order to expand their territory, increase their power and ensure their status. These wars are often territorial disputes over specific areas, but sometimes evolve into larger battles involving multiple forces and areas. The political divisions and competition between various forces during the Warring States Period were the core features of this period. This division and competition created an extremely unstable environment, but also contributed to the development of Japanese society and culture. The Warring States Period was not just about fighting between villages, but an era full of political struggle, samurai spirit, and strategic wisdom. 2. The samurai and lord system in the Warring States Period. In the social organizational structure of Japan during the Warring States Period, samurai and lords played a key role. Samurai were the most important social class of this era, known for their fighting skills, loyalty, and courage. Lords were landowners and rulers who held political and military power. During the Warring States Period, the status and influence of the samurai reached its peak. Based on force and courage, they formed a unique Bushido spirit through long-term training and traditional moral principles. Bushido emphasizes values such as loyalty, bravery, etiquette, and humility, which played an important role in the samurai culture of the Warring States Period. Samurai played a key role in the politics and military of the Warring States Period. As retainers of the lord, they were responsible for protecting the lord's territory and interests. At the same time, they are also loyal supporters of the lord, helping the lord expand his power and maintain his rule through the application of force and strategy. In this era, competition and power struggles among warriors were fierce. They often form private armies, called armies or legions, and compete for territory and resources. These samurai legions played a key role in the political and military landscape of the Warring States Period, forming a complex system of balance of power. However, it's worth mentioning that samurai were more than just combatants. They also made rich contributions in the fields of art, literature, and Zen Buddhism. The rise of samurai culture promoted Japan's cultural prosperity and formed unique aesthetics and values. 3. Battles and strategies of the Warring States Period. The Warring States Period was a period full of wars and conflicts. The frequency and intensity of wars became an important feature of this era. During this period, samurai warriors fought using a variety of weapons and tactics, and developed unique strategies to deal with different battlefield situations. During the Warring States Period, the main weapons of samurai included swords, bows and arrows, spears, halberds, etc. Swords were the most common and important weapons, and samurai were famous for their swordsmanship. Sword usage techniques and swordsmanship schools developed greatly during this era and became the core of samurai combat. Bows and arrows were also important long-range weapons. Warriors used bows and arrows on the battlefield for long-range attack and defense. The tactics of the Warring States Period also underwent major changes and innovations. Traditional formation tactics are gradually being replaced by tactics with greater flexibility and mobility. The samurai began to try new tactics, such as division of troops, surprise attacks, ambushes, and guerrilla warfare. The purpose of these tactics is to use terrain, surprise, and various tactical means to gain an advantage. In addition, wars during the Warring States period were often characterized by castle offensive and defensive battles. The castle became an important stronghold for the samurai and played a key role in the war. The techniques and tactics of siege warfare have been greatly developed, including the use of siege equipment, fortification techniques and tactics, etc. The battles and strategies of the Warring States period were intense, and wars occurred frequently. Samurai often participated in battles of various sizes, from small-scale conflicts to large-scale wars. These wars were not just simple confrontations of force, but also reflected the spirit, strategy and wisdom of the warriors on a deeper level. 4. Village wars and local conflicts. During the Warring States period, village warfare referred to small-scale conflicts at the local level, usually in villages or rural areas. These conflicts are the result of competition between local powers and battles for territory. Japan during the Warring States period was a highly decentralized political system, with lords and samurai controlling their respective territories and spheres of influence. There is often tense competition between these local forces, who seek to expand their territory, resources, and power. This competition and conflict is particularly prominent at the local level, resulting in many small-scale local conflicts, so-called village wars. In village warfare, local samurai often organized their own private armies and used local resources to fight. These private armies were usually composed of local warriors and peasants who aimed to protect their villages, territories, and interests. The scale of village battles is usually smaller, and the fighting methods are closer to traditional samurai duels, including single combat, small-scale group battles, ambushes, and guerrilla warfare. Village warfare was an important phenomenon at the local level during the Warring States period, reflecting the competition and territorial contention between local forces. These conflicts were not just about safeguarding one's own interests, but also about the expansion of the lord's power and increase in political influence. The occurrence of village wars often brings destruction, unrest and sacrifice to local farmers and civilians. As the Warring States period progressed, local conflicts and village wars gradually increased in frequency and scale. During this era, competition and conflicts between local forces continued to intensify, eventually leading to large-scale wars and efforts to unify the Warring States. 5. Large-scale wars during the Warring States period. In addition to small-scale conflicts at the local level, the Warring States period also saw many large-scale wars. These wars went beyond mere village wars and involved confrontations between various lords, forces, and nations. Here are some famous battles and wars. Battle of Nagashino, 1575. The Battle of Nagashino was an important battle in the Warring States period, fought between the Takeda army led by Takeda Shingen and the Eastern army led by Tokugawa Ieyasu. This battle took place near Nagashino City in today's Aichi Prefecture, Japan. It was a key showdown between the Takeda army and the Tokugawa army. Although the Takeda army occupied a favorable terrain, they were eventually defeated by the Tokugawa army. This battle marked the decline of Takeda Shingen's power. Battle of Okehazama, 1560. The Battle of Okehazama was a battle between the Imagawa army led by Imagawa Yoshimoto and the Oda army led by Oda Nobunaga. This battle took place near today's Omaezaki City in Shizuoka Prefecture and was one of the most famous battles of the Warring States period. Despite being outnumbered, Oda Nobunaga used clever tactics in the Ahama terrain to successfully defeat the Imagawa army. This battle marked the beginning of Nobunaga's rise. Battle of Sekigahara, 1600. The Battle of Sekigahara was one of the most important and influential battles of the Warring States period. This war took place near today's Tsuruga City, Fukui Prefecture, and was a showdown between the Eastern Army led by Tokugawa Ieyasu and the Western Army led by Ishida Mitsunari. This war finally ended with the victory of the Eastern Army, laying the foundation for Tokugawa Ieyasu to unify Japan and starting the Edo period. These battles and wars represent important events in the large-scale wars of the Warring States period. They not only affected the political structure and balance of forces at the time, but also had a profound impact on Japanese history. The conduct of these wars involved not only the tactics and fighting skills of the samurai, but also complex political alliances, strategies, and diplomatic relationships. In this film we explore different aspects of Japan's Warring States period. we first introduce village warfare, which refers to small-scale conflicts at the local level and emphasizes competition between local forces and territorial disputes. However, we also emphasize that the Warring States period was not just a period of village wars but also many large-scale wars. In addition to minor conflicts at the local level, the Sengoku period also saw many important battles, such as the Battle of Nagashino, the Battle of Okehazama, and the Battle of Sekigahara. These wars went beyond mere local rivalries and involved confrontations between various lords, powers, and nations. These wars not only affected the political structure and balance of forces at the time, but also had a profound impact on Japanese history. Japan's Warring States period was a complex and rich period that contained conflicts and competitions at various levels. The history of this era is not just about samurai fighting skills, but also involves complex factors such as political alliances, strategies and diplomatic relations. Therefore, viewers are encouraged to delve into more details of Japan's Warring States period to better understand the history and culture of this period. Through the study of the Warring States period, we can better understand Japan's historical evolution and the formation of modern society. The stories and events of this period are not only a part of history, but also reflect the competition, conflicts and struggles between forces that are prevalent in human society. By learning more about these stories, we can better understand the world and ourselves. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it sparks your interest in Japan's Warring States period and encourages you to further explore this rich and colorful period of history. If you like this content, please remember to give it a like and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content. Please also share your thoughts and opinions in the comment area. We look forward to interacting with you. Thank you again for your support. See you next time.